On my channel here, I really focus on self-improvement. And part of that is taking a holistic approach to life. And I've made a lot of videos on your mental and spiritual health, but I want to move into the third pillar, which is physical health. As a senior, physical health is so important. And I really focus on this for my personal journey. I want to live a life of longevity and vitality. And when seniors age, there's certain things that happen. We lose muscle. So it's real important for us to do strength training to build our muscles. When we build muscles, it strengthens our bones. They have to get stronger to support the muscle. You eat more protein to build that muscle. Now, it's really hard to build muscle as a senior. I know. I have been into fitness most of my life. Most of it was geared toward wanting to look good and be skinny and all of those sort of things. I taught aerobics, and I was in my 30s. I started having trouble with shin splints. And I read in my fitness magazine that to guard against your muscles being lopsided, you needed to strength train. So I started strength training in my 30s. Today, I am so grateful. But I went through a period of time in my 60s to where I had trouble with my hip. I've had a bad knee most of my life. I've injured it several times and never had surgery on it. So I kind of knew there would be a day I had to have a knee replaced. But I never thought I'd have to have my hip replaced. And I was walking with a limp. It got to where I couldn't work out as much. It was difficult to walk for exercise and all of those things. And about 4 years, well, I had a hip replacement 5 years ago, and then I had my knee replaced. And I got really interested after I had my hip replaced in lowering inflammation, and I ran across Dr. Mark Hyman. And I learned to eat whole foods, limit sugar, gluten, some other things from my diet. Changed the way I had ever thought about healthy eating. And I felt great. It helped with depression and anxiety, which happens as you get older and you go through medical problems. And so I got a really good physical therapist, and she worked with me to regain strength in my legs. And I've heard your health is in your legs. And if you're losing muscle, I lost a lot of muscle during this time. Well, last year I ran across another doctor. Her name is Dr. Stacy Sims. Both of these people have YouTube channels. I'm not a doctor. I am not a personal trainer or any of those things. I'm a licensed professional therapist that is really about self-improvement and personal development. And I got into that a long time ago. I've been into personal development for 30 years before I got my degree and license. And so senior health is so important, and we're considered seniors after 65. I am 72 years old. And a year ago, I ran across Dr. Stacy Sims, and she talked about that older women have to work out different. And I think this would be true for men. And what I learned in my 30s was you use low weights, high reps, because you didn't want to bulk up. But her take on building muscle as a senior, you need to lift heavier weights and lower reps. So I switched a year ago, and the benefits that I saw from that, the strength in my legs, the muscles in my arms, I can wear sleeveless tops. 72 years old. And, you know, my arms are, they're not perfect, but they look pretty good for my age. So now I'm on a new journey. I went to the doctor in June for my 6-month checkup, and she said, you know, you're borderline diabetic. And my dad had type 2 diabetes, and so I know I'm genetically predisposed to deal with that. So I drug out my book by Dr. Hyman, and I started cutting the fluff out, because part of his book is how to lower blood sugar. So I've been doing that, but I also knew I needed to increase exercise. Well, where I live, the weather's not real conducive to getting out and walking. And to walk a mile, and you know, it takes me about 20 minutes. I'm not a mall walker, we used to call them. I don't fast speed walk, and so 20 minutes, and you know, it gets hot, and it's been humid this year, and in the winter it's cold, and as you get older, I don't adapt well to the extreme temperatures. So getting outside and walking has not been a thing. My son gave me a treadmill in the fall last year. It's in my house. I've used it a few times. It is the most boring thing ever. So started doing some research. And I have a creator friend here on YouTube that does rebounding. Her channel is Rebounding with Cheryl. I will list all these channels in my description. So I got to doing the research myself on rebounding. You know, I heard her talk about the benefits, and I really decided, you know, one of the things that piqued my interest was 10 minutes on a rebounder is like 30 minutes running. Well, I never could run. That impact. It's also low impact. Drains your lymphatic system, lowers blood sugar, all the benefits. And of course, the best benefit of rebounding that I read was how it helps your mental state. It elevates your mood, decreases anxiety. And so I have a rebounder on the way, and I am going to incorporate my journey along with rebounding, and I'm also going to do a series on Dr. Mark Hyman's 10-day detox. When I did this detox before, I lost 5 pounds. And then he takes you through maintenance. And what I really like about this book is he not only addresses the way you eat and cutting out preservatives and eating whole foods, he addresses the mindset. And I really liked it. So I want to do this again. I'm going to do a series of 10 days as we go through the detox. And I stayed really stuck to the detox eating for weeks before I started adding in a few of the things he suggested you could add in. I lost 10 pounds. And so I would like to drop about 5 pounds. My blood sugar was great. My blood pressure dropped. There were so many benefits, and I want to tighten the belt, as I call it. Go through this. I'm going to get my rebounder. I'm going to talk about that some. So if you're new here, my name's Rhonda. I talk about personal development as it relates to our mental health, our spiritual health, and our physical health. And I've not done a whole lot on the physical health, but I'm adding that pillar in. So if you're new here, welcome. If you're one of my subscribers and part of my community, I thank you for watching. I've got some of my subscribers really asking me to do this detox thing. And I think that one of the things he talks about is to take a walk every day. And I'm going to do rebounding instead of the walking, because the benefits are huge. And the time limit. I am retired, but I still work about 20 hours a week right now. And I'm busy and active, and that's what works well for me. And so, but I am a 72-year-old woman living life with vitality, and that is so important as we age. And of course, the most important thing is to be you on purpose.